In this episode, we talk about Chhattisgarh introducing a bill to regulate religious conversions in the state. We also give you an update about what the Supreme Court said about the controversial Chandigarh mayor elections. But first, we talk about allegations of sexual harassment against members of the Trinamool Congress in Bengal. Hi, I'm Shashank Bhargava, and you're listening to Three Things, the Indian Express news show. Right now, the ruling TMC and the opposition BJP in Bengal have been engaged in a political war over allegations of sexual harassment. These allegations have been made by women against some of the TMC members in the village of Sandeshkhali. In fact, earlier this month, the Calcutta High Court took cognizance of it, and both Governor C.V. Ananda Bose and Union Minister Smriti Irani amplified those allegations.
These are the women of Sandeshkhali who are crying out for help, for protection. The question is, can we as citizens be mute spectators? Who is this man who is charged by the women of Sandeshkhali of mass rape of Bengali Hindu women? And I say this because...
Now, to investigate the matter, Indian Express's Ravik Bhattacharya and Atri Mitra went to this village and spoke to about 24 women who are at the center of this controversy involving alleged sexual harassment by a section of the TMC members. When we spoke to Ravik, he told us that out of these 24 women, 5 spoke up.
Who spoke up accepted the fact that they have been repeatedly molested or sexually harassed in the name after being called to party officers, to school buildings and to resorts at the post-midnight, after 10 p.m. in the garb of let us have a meeting, and then after the meeting they have been repeatedly molested, sexually harassed by a section of the Congress leaders.
The women told him that this had been happening to them since 2020 and that some of them had faced harassment and molestation at least 6 to 7 times.
See, we asked them that since this trend is going on since 2020, why now they are speaking up? Now, they have to say is that Sheikh Shah Jahan, who is the Jila Parishad member of North Parganas district, and we consider him as a party strongman in Sandeshkhali area, he was an all-powerful person there. There was no way they could have protested.
He says even when they protested or turned up to the party meetings, their husbands and fathers were beaten up repeatedly and were socially boycotted.
The cops, on the other hand, told them that you go to the Trinamool Congress, those same leaders, and you go for a settlement. They did not register the FIR. So there have been instances like this. Thereafter, they couldn't speak up openly. But now, since, as you know, in January, ED raided Sheikh Shah Jahan's house, and his followers assaulted ED officers, following which he and his cronies or other local party members are absconding. This gave courage to these women to stand up and to raise their voice to protest in Chandigarh.
Now, when Ravik spoke to these women, he found out that there was a distinct pattern in these cases. First was that all these women were from the self-help groups that are run by the panchayats.
Now, this trend, it started in 2020 when they were called after 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. or late night, where the party leaders told them that we have a meeting of self-help. You come and join us. So a group of women went there. Indeed, there was a meeting. It was a party meeting where the self-help meeting turned into a party meeting. The men folk were not called. Since the meeting was called under the garb of self-help groups, where only women participate, local Trinamool Congress leaders who are accused, they never allowed the men to be in these meetings.
These meetings were usually short, and in the end, around 6 of them would be asked to stay back.
According to the woman, obviously these are allegations from those women, then they were repeatedly harassed. They were saying their saris were pulled, they were touched everywhere, they were molested number of times, and this was a recurring event. So, weekly, twice, thrice, even 4 times a week they used to be called in this so-called meetings, and repeated molestations took place. That was the allegation. Now, another very striking factor is that if for any reason one of these women or a couple of these women couldn't go to this meeting, they said that suppose I didn't want to go, I didn't go, or suppose I have ill health, there would be a list would have been made, a list was prepared by the Trinamool Congress leaders of such women who did not attend those meetings, and then their family members would be targeted, then they'll be socially ostracized, there'll be threats, and many other such things.
And Ravik says that what really stands out is that these women claim to have voted for the Trinamool Congress in the past.
But still, they got this kind of horrific experience from the party members day in and day out.
Now, while looking into the matter, Indian Express's Atri Mitra visited the Sandeshkhali police station, especially since the women claim that at this police station, they were only able to speak to a male police officer and were sometimes advised to sort things out with the very men they were complaining against. Here's what Atri found out.
We went to the Sandeshkhali police station. There are, in front of the police station, there is a women help desk. There is a small room. But now the anti-riot and RAF forces are sitting over there. Two of the constables were sitting over there. And we asked to the police officer in the station that in the women desk, is there any officer was there? No, we have no lady police officer over there. And we have only 2 lady constable in the whole Sandeshkhali police station area, and one of them also in maternity leave.
Now that means in the entire Sandeshkhali police area, there was only 1 lady constable who could speak to women trying to file such complaints.
So this is the situation of the Sandeshkhali, and where the main allegation is the assault and molestation against women. There are only 1 lady police constable are there. So we can imagine that what police is doing there to create a free and fair environment to women to complain against the ruling party leaders.
Now, even though protests are still going on, the TMC leaders have completely denied these allegations.
See, there are basically 2 allegations here. One, which is a very serious allegation we were speaking about, is the sexual harassment of the village woman. Second, another allegation is there that since 2000, a section of Trinamool Congress leaders have been grabbing agricultural land there illegally and or forcibly and turning them into fisheries. These are the 2 main issues which this villagers started protesting about. Now, Trinamool Congress on the first issue has absolutely rejected this claim by women, saying that these are fabricated and baseless. They are being provoked. In the second issue of land grab, Trinamool Congress has accepted that a section of its leaders may be involved in land grab and pay money. And they said that compensation will be paid to the villagers from the party funds. So basically, Trinamool standards on the sexual harassment issue is that it is fabricated and baseless. And almost all the Trinamool Congress leaders, we spoke to the Irrigation Minister, Bhargava. He also said that it is a conspiracy of the opposition parties who are provoking this woman and saying some statements. That is the stand so far with Trinamool Congress.
And Ravik says that what's worth noting is that the TMC Supremo Mamata Banerjee has a huge fan following among the women in the state.
Even in 2021, when a lot of us talking about BJP making forays into Bengal, it's the minority votes and the woman made Mamata the chief minister. Even now, Mamata Banerjee has a fan following. But this incident, as it is being played out right now, with Governor C.V. Anand Bose visiting the place, with the National Women's Commission visiting the place, it's being brought to limelight by the medias. This will have an effect. It is expected. We have to see what kind of effect it has in the coming days, because these are very serious. When these women are alleging that they are Trinamool Congress worker, and this trend of repeated molestations or sexual harassment by their own party men day after day for the past 3 to 4 years is having an impact on not only Sandeshkhali, but generally in Bengal. But we have to see how it finally plays out.
And next we talk about Chhattisgarh. The Indian Express has learned that a new bill is soon set to be introduced in the Chhattisgarh Assembly that aims to regulate religious conversions in the state. According to the draft, a person who wishes to convert to another religion will have to fill a form with personal details at least 60 days in advance and submit it to the district magistrate, who will then ask the police to assess the real intention, reason, and purpose. To know more about this bill, we speak to Indian Express's Jayprakash Naidu, who broke the story for the paper. Jayprakash, tell us, what are the details of this conversion bill that we know about so far?
So the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party is likely to table this bill in the ongoing session of the Vidhan Sabha. Minister Brijmohan Agarwal has made his announcement in the Vidhan Sabha. If this bill goes through, then any person who wants to convert from his religion to another religion will have to fill up a form with his personal details and submit it before the district magistrate at least 60 days before getting converted. Similarly, any person who will perform the conversion rituals, like a priest or a Maulana, will have to submit a similar form at least 1 month before the conversion takes place.
So it's not just the person converting, it's also the person involved in the conversion.
Yes. Then the district magistrate will order an inquiry and the police will find out what is the intention, purpose and reason behind the conversion. If it is found that there is any inducement, coercion, force, undue influence or fraudulent means have been used for the conversion, then the district magistrate will term the conversion to be illegal. The bill also gives several examples of these, like accepting a gift, getting education in a reputed school, material benefits, divine blessings, psychological pressure, impersonation, etc. So all these things will be, seen as a coercion tactic or an inducement tactic used by the person who wants to convert you. After the conversion, a registry of all the converts will be maintained by the district magistrate.
Okay, and once the person who is converting submits the required documents to the district magistrate, again, 60 days in advance, will they be required to do anything after the conversion takes place?
Yes. So after the conversion, the converted person will have to submit another declaration form to the district magistrate within 60 days of conversion. The district magistrate will publish this form in his office and the converted person will have to visit the DM's office for personal verification within 21 days of submitting the declaration form.
And Jayprakash, what happens if they don't follow these rules?
Then again, the whole conversion will be deemed illegal.
And does the bill specify any punishments or any fines in this regard?
Yes. So if the objection in this case can be taken by any person who is related by blood or by adoption to the person who's being allegedly illegally converted. So for those illegally converting minors, women, people from the scheduled caste or scheduled tribes will face minimum of 2 years in jail and maximum of 10 years and minimum fine of rupees 25,000. For mass conversion, punishment will be minimum 3 years and maximum 10 years with minimum fine of rupees 50,000. The court may also approve a compensation of up to rupees 5 lakh to the victims of religious conversion.
Right, and we understand that in case of an objection, for example, the FIR that will be filed in the matter will be a non-bailable one. But Jayprakash, this law is being drafted after the state last year saw a number of instances where tribals who had converted to Christianity were attacked. Could you just remind our listeners of these instances?
Yes, so several cases of violence against tribals practicing Christianity took place in Bastar region. In the year 2022, hundreds of tribals practicing Christianity were socially boycotted from their villages. They were beaten, they were publicly flogged, the videos were, being circulated on social media. And one more thing, tribals were not allowing fellow tribals practicing Christianity to bury bodies of their family members in the villages. This had become a usual reason for the fights between them. Most importantly, a major rioting incident took place in Narayanpur last year in January, where a huge mob of tribals vandalized a church and broke idols of Jesus and Mother Mary. The superintendent of police in Narayanpur was attacked and he suffered head injury.
And Jayprakash, this law, of course, is being drafted by the BJP government, which came back to power in the state only a few months back. To what extent did the party make this a poll issue?
So, talking about the same incident where the church was attacked, the Narayanpur district president Roopsai Salam was arrested in the rioting case. And the present state minister Kedar Kashyap, who also comes from Narayanpur district, he was leading the protest for, against the alleged conversions to Christianity. So BJP had made it a poll issue where, they kept alleging that a lot of tribals are getting converted to Christianity, and then Congress government led by Bhupesh Baghel were not taking much action. And Bhupesh Baghel also, was talking about how many churches came up during the previous BJP rule, which went on for 15 years.
And since we came to know about it, how has the Christian community in the state reacted to the bill?
Yes, so there's this one person, Arun Pannalal, who's president of Christian Forum in Chhattisgarh. He said that the BJP is doing drama just to get the votes for the Lok Sabha elections. He said that a similar bill was brought by the BJP in 2006 and again in 2013 when BJP was in power. But the Christian community back then protested a lot and the law could not be passed. He said that tribals are non-religious community as per a tribal commissioner ruling in 1960s. So then where is the question of conversion, he asked. He also said that the tribals were simply adopting a religion, whether it's Hinduism or Christianity, but BJP has a problem with Christianity.
And in the end, we talk about the controversial election for the post of mayor in Chandigarh, which took place last month. This election held significance because it was the first ever alliance between the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party. But the poll results were marred by allegations of misconduct by the BJP councillors and the presiding authority Anil Masi. During the polls, the BJP candidate Manoj Sankar emerged victorious with 16 votes, while the AAP and the Congress alliance secured 12 votes. However, the opposition alleged that Anil Masi unfairly invalidated 8 votes which were in their favour. They approached the Punjab-Haryana High Court and later the Supreme Court with videos showing his alleged interference with ballot papers. And yesterday, expressing concern at the possibility of horse trading, the Supreme Court said that the results of the election would be declared on the basis of the existing ballot papers instead of a repoll. For this, the court said it would examine the ballot papers and the entire video recording of the counting day. The remarks came as a big blow to the BJP, which was preparing for a fresh election by orchestrating the resignation of their mayor and the induction of other councillors. Immediately after the polls, we had done a segment to find out what had transpired that day, the link to which is in today's show notes. You were listening to 3 Things by the Indian Express. Today's show was written and produced by me, Shashank, Bhargava, and was edited and mixed by Suresh Pawar. If you like the show, then do subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also recommend the show to someone you think will like it, share it with a friend or someone in your family. It's the best way for people to get to know about us. You can tweet us at Express Podcasts and write to us at podcasts@indianexpress.com.